wing. What I like to do with it, because they send me a lot of product, is try to do different ways with Moore's marinade. I want to demonstrate some ways that you can use it, not just so much putting it on a wing, but you can incorporate it into different foods. Okay, so I'm going to take you through a few different presentations. We have some cooked over here that we will give away as samples also, but I'm going to do the exact same thing and show you. I want to start off with like a Sunday dinner. So we have barbecue people here, people like to smoke, everything else. Everybody knows about a pork loin, right? Anybody here cooked pork loin? Anybody stuffed a pork loin? I'm going to show you how to stuff a pork loin and make it look just wonderful. And everybody's going to love it. This is a half of a pork loin. When you get them, they're huge. They're about 10 pounds. This is about a 5-pound pork loin. What we want to do is we want to butterfly this thing, because when you butterfly it, then you butterfly it more, then you can stuff a bunch of junk in there and it looks really good when you cut it open. It's like a pork pizza.
Pork pizza.
Well, let's do this right here. We'll just start off and we'll slice this pork loin almost all the way through. You want to get within about a ½ an inch or so of going all the way through. Once you've done that, you've got two big chunks. Well, let's take that pork loin again and let's just run right down there. And we start making these channels here. That's where we're going to put all our good stuff. Okay? When you get ready to marinate this pork loin, you're going to want to go ahead and butterfly it first. That way you get that marinade down in that meat for several hours. We'll do the same thing on this side. Now, as you can see, as it kind of unfolds, just kind of push it down. Make sure you don't go all the way through so it doesn't cook and come out the bottom. Now we've got this thing butterflied right here. So this is the same piece of meat, same pork loin that we had, but now we've got all little crevices in here we can put stuff in. When we get done, we're going to fold it up like a little football, but it's going to be really good when it cooks, okay? This guy is raw. He's not marinated. I wanted to demonstrate that. What we have here is the exact same other end of that pork loin, but he's been marinated. This is in the Moore's marinade. This is in the teriyaki. If you've never used a teriyaki marinade on chicken or pork, you've missed out. Try to find it. I think the only place that I've really been able to find it is Central Market in South Lake, but they should have it coming up in more places. So now what are we going to stuff it with? Good stuff.
Do you need a bowl to put all that stuff in?
A bowl?
To put all that, or are you just going to put
Nah, I'm just going to put it in there.
Okay.
We're going to start off with a base layer of feta cheese. I like feta cheese because it's kind of got that salty, sour taste. Pretty good little cheese. But by the time this feta cheese works in with some of the other ingredients, it's going to complement it really well. So let's put a base layer all the way through on these little crevices. You really can't have too much. Whatever fits in there, just put it all in. And that's kind of what we're going to do right here.
Precise measurements.
Exactly, precise. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a base layer of craisins. These are cherry-flavored cranberries. Sounds really good already, doesn't it? When you put this cherry in there and it starts mixing with these other flavors after you cook it, then you're going to understand why. So we'll just fill all these little cracks, put them all in there. But as you can see, it starts filling up, it starts swelling. That's why we're going to have Dana here in a minute. She's going to help me tie all this up. Who doesn't like black olives? Let's put some black olives in there. This is going to look just beautiful.
That's going to be gorgeous when you cut it open.
And we'll slice that open in a minute. All right. Next thing you know, why don't we go ahead and put some mushrooms in there? Now, it looks like a lot, but trust me, when this thing cooks down, you know how it gets. It's going to wilt all up. And so don't worry about putting too much. As long as you can get it closed, you can get as creative as you want to. Just like that.
Okay.
So what we kind of want to do is push everything down. So what I'm going to do is put a bed of spinach leaves. Spinach leaves kind of give us a bed to push stuff down on. It makes a nice little bed for the next ingredient we're going to put on there. I always pull the tails off the spinach. Just makes it a little bit easier to work with. Put all that spinach in there. Now, you've all seen the pigs that get stuffed. They always associate it with pineapple. Pineapple is great with pork. Take some crushed pineapple. Lay this crushed pineapple in there on top of it. Don't worry about the juices. It'll be okay. It's just going to help it. Nice bed of pineapple, just like that. We've actually got 2 toppings left. One of them still out in the truck. It's going to be white cheese on the top.
Do you want me to get one of the guys to get it?
No, it's okay. The most important ingredient that you can have, obviously, it's bacon, right? You're playing with pork, you might as well put some more bacon in it. So let's take all these bacon pieces, let's lay some bacon in there. It's kind of looking like a little pizza just unfolded.
A pork pizza.
Okay, here comes the fun part. You need to have a few strings already pre-cut. I've got 6 of them here. Now let's take and slide these in. Now, if everything goes right, this is all going to go together. We just start rolling it, pushing those crevices back together, fold it up like a big old pork taco. I'm going to hold it. There's the one operation somebody needs, is that finger right there. Perfect. Just do the same thing. See, these ingredients will fold up nice and easy.
Smells wonderful. It's not even cooked.
We're going to cook this out back here in just a minute. So if you guys hang around at dinner time, there'll be another pork loin coming off. This will be for the vendors probably. We'll make some trades.
Oh, that doesn't go on around here.
I'm going to use one more on that end.
You want to hold it together?
Yeah. The trick
There you
is
go.
getting everything sealed up. It's kind of like if they can keep air in a football, you can keep food inside a pork loin. Just get it laced up. I'm using regular cooking twine to do that. For lack of having a pair of scissors, which I usually do, we'll just take and cut these strings. We're not quite done with it yet, because even though we've got flavor in it, now we want to put a little flavor on it, right? So what we're going to do is, we're going to rub it down. Now this is an apple spice rub I make. You don't have to use this. You can use any kind of your favorite rub. This is kind of, apple works real well with the different fruits that are in there. It's a nice sweet rub. We're just going to give this a good bathing. The last ingredient, if you go, there's a, get the pack of 5 cheese, the white cheese like you put in pizza. It's got the provolone, mozzarella. The 5 white cheeses, you would make another layer on that. You can see what the 5 white cheeses do on the top. Because, I mean, you got bacon, you got pork, and you got cheese. What else do you want?
A salad. Because you're on a diet.
It's got spinach. See, there you
There
go.
you go.
Okay, now what we've got is a good pork loin. This pork loin here was smoked with the cherry and maple wood that I use. You can use your hickory, use any kind of wood you'd like. This is going to want to smoke. You want to cook this. I like cooking about 275 to 300 degrees. You want to cook it about 3 hours. You want to hit that. It wants to be at least 145. I think they said now you can do 140 on pork. Make it at least 145. Don't let it go too much past 150. It starts drying out a little bit.
Go, guys.
Always, if you want to cook, this is what I recommend. Cook everything in an aluminum pan, something like this. That way you don't get drippings down inside. You don't get flare-ups. That's just a little barbecue thing. So there's your Sunday afternoon dinner right there. Put that on, mix that with a little salad, and you're good to go. Now, here comes the weekday stuff. See,
Do you need the pair of gloves?
I got them.
Okay.
So I'm the man of the grill on the weekends. That's pretty much what I do. I sit outside with my neighbor. We open a few bottles. We thump our chests like cavemen, and we barbecue. But during the week, I guess that's my wife's domain. She likes to play in there. So if you come home and you're like my wife, you got to work all day. I've been sitting there, and I look for an empty plate. I want something to eat. Before she yells at me, she wants to get something on real quick. She's been working too, and I get that, okay? My wife taught me this recipe. I never would have done it this way, but I've seen it done every day, and it works. This is going to be about a 25-minute meatloaf. Real easy to do. Take about 2 pounds of ground beef. put it in there. This is going to be a microwave meatloaf. I mean, this is really, really simple. While you're steaming broccoli, getting me a cold beer, whatever, and she can make this. You want to take an entire sleeve of Ritz crackers. I know it sounds silly, but have some fun with it. Crush them up, put them in there. Just like when you were a kid, only you get to do this for real. What we're going to do is mix all these in, start getting it all done up, break it up a little bit, break up that meat. I taught her it's so easy, she should do this every day. That's when the fat started. Now what you're going to want to do on top of this, like I said, everybody has their favorite meatloaf. Me, I'm real simple. Put in some Rotel tomatoes, dice them up, and I'm good. I don't have to be real fancy around the house. So we'll start mixing this up.
No eggs.
Hmm?
No eggs.
No eggs.
That's pretty cool.
Eggs. That goes with bacon and sausage.
I know.
So now we've got just your basic meatloaf like you have. Now if you want it to taste like it's been outside and want to have some fun, you want to take about 2/3 of a cup of the hickory marinade. Just pour it right in there. That's close enough. That's about 2/3. We want to, here, I'll just wipe these hands right here.
Here's some paper towels. Here. Here, I'll get it for you. Got it?
Yeah. Now let's take about 2 tablespoons of seasoning. We just use regular nature seasoning. Put about 2 tablespoons in. Give it a little flavor. If I make this by myself, I usually put a bunch of jalapenos and cayenne in there. Obviously, I can't do that with my wife and kids. So now what this does, this hickory marinade is going to mix in with that meatloaf. Believe it or not, you're going to cook it in the microwave, but it's going to have a beautiful hickory flavor when you take it out. I'm using a metal pan right now because I'm fixing to go stick it on my pit, and this is going to be my dinner. What you would normally do is put this, if you're my wife, you would put this in a Pyrex pan. You would set the microwave for about 20 minutes, or if you're my wife, just until the smoke alarm goes off. She's not here today, so I can say that. That's going to be perfect. After 20 minutes, it's basically going to be done, but what you're going to want to do after that, everybody wants a topping on it. You'll take a mixture of 50-50. I just use ketchup and the honey barbecue sauce. I mix them together. Put that on there. You spread that around. And you're going to put that back in the microwave for about 5 more minutes at the most, or until the fire department arrives from the first one. And there you go.
You know you are being recorded, and she may get to see
She's
this.
getting her CHL license today, so I better shut up. There's a 20-minute right there, 20-minute meatloaf. That's just enough time for you to get some vegetables, everything else. A quick dinner during the week. So now we've done the all day, the guy thing on the smoker. We've done the quick meal during the week. What's coming up next weekend? Super Bowl. If you're like me and my neighbor comes over to the house all the time, then you're going to want to have plenty of appetizers when it comes up. So here's a great thing to do. I've got a few appetizers that are real quick. Okay? This is kind of reverse engineering on the Moore's marinade. This is what I use when I go catering somewhere. I'll take the raw chicken wing, I'll marinate it in this buffalo wing sauce for about 24 hours pre-cooked. After it's cooked, we just dump it in the pan. I've got a drying rack inside there. It just drains to the bottom. It's not going to hurt a thing. And look at there, you're not all dirty. Once these wings are done, we also take another little rub, or your favorite rub that you do. You would want to hit that real good. Once these wings are seasoned up real good, you don't have to worry about putting any more sauce. That marinade is inside the chicken wing. It also breaks down that chicken, so that chicken's extremely tender, okay? Now you've got a wing that looks like this. You're going to want to cook that about 300 degrees. You're going to cook it for about 90 minutes. 165, pull it out. 170, even better. What you'll get is a wing that looks like this when it's done. It's full of buffalo flavor. It's very tender.
And it's not fried.
And we don't have the other ones, do we? The bacon wrap meatballs. No, I was going to put some together. I was going to show you how to make the best thing yet, but I'll just I'll just tell you about it. I call these barbecue candy. What these are bacon wrap meatballs. These are some of the easiest and best appetizers you can make when you have people coming over. You get a big bag of meatballs, you get some bacon, and you wrap them. It's that simple. I've got these dusted in an apple spice rub. You put them in there and let them cook. Hour and a half, once the bacon is nice and done, the meatballs are pre-cooked. So once the bacon starts getting nice and done, you want to hit them with some of this honey barbecue sauce right here. Let them cook for about 30 more minutes. Let this sauce kind of caramelize and glaze on. All of this stuff, we've got samples over for you also. I would really suggest getting a hold of these first. They go quickly. Last but not least, here's what you want to do to carry with you. If you go fishing, if you go barbecue like I do, or you're just sitting around the house watching football, this is a beef jerky. It's nothing more than a chuck roast. It was partially frozen, sliced real thin, marinated in a 50-50 combination of the teriyaki marinade and the teriyaki wing sauce. Let it marinate 4 to 5 hours. You can put it in your dehydrator if you want. If you don't, put it on a sheet pan in the oven for about 4 hours on 145. Once it gets nice and dry and it's pliable like this, you've got the best all-natural beef jerky you can have. So I've taken you through everything. We've had an all day right here. We've got the meatloaf. We've got the appetizers. What did we do with the pork loin? We didn't get to cut it. Did you already take it down?
They're taking it out.
Okay.
You want me to show it to you?
You have it. I was going to give you a cross section and show you a slice of the pork loin real quick while we have it. Okay. So my guys already have your samples ready for you, but I'll give you a piece of it. What you can see in one of the V's, you've got your cheese, you've got your fruits, and you've also got the spinach and the toppings in there, out there. All of these you can prepare and literally just, you've seen me do it. You've seen me go through 3 foods right here. Very simple to prepare, very flavorful, and it'll make a hero out of you, okay? That's what I have with this. I can answer any questions over on the side. Feel free to stop by the Moore's Marinade booth and get some chicken wings. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian McClarty. Let's hear it for him. That sounds fantastic. Sampling wings, barbecue candy, pork loin. If you can, we would appreciate a donation to our friends at Irving Cares. There is a donation bucket available at the sampling table. They do such good work for our friends right here in Irving. Brian, thank you again. Fantastic. Can't wait to taste this. Here come more samples.